From explosive laughter in the living room to parenting lessons that seem simple but resonate deeply to the core. My Wife and Kids is not just a sitcom, it is a mirror reflecting the modern family, where every laugh hides a lesson. But after more than 2 decades, those faces that once made millions of viewers laugh, where are they now? Let's rewind time then versus now. Number 1, Damon Wayans as Michael Kyle. There are fathers who step onto the screen and instantly redefine the concept of a family pillar. Damon Wayans is one of them. In 2001, when My Wife and Kids premiered, he was 41, bringing his unique comedic style from In Living Color to embody Michael Kyle, a father both strict and unpredictably mischievous. In every episode, Michael didn't teach his kids with punishment, but with psychological warfare lessons, from pretending to be poor to teach Junior the value of money, to incredibly creative revenge schemes when his kids made mistakes. His character clearly evolved through each season, from a controlling father to one who learned to listen and accept his children's growth, especially when Junior entered marriage and became a father. This blend of humor, authority, and emotion made Michael Kyle the soul of the show. In real life, Damon Wayans also went through ups and downs. He publicly faced type 2 diabetes and had conflicts within the famous Wayans family, yet maintained a steady career in entertainment. After leaving the sitcom, he continued with projects like Lethal Weapon series, but no role ever surpassed the shadow of Michael Kyle. Now at 66, Damon Wayans remains an icon of a sitcom generation, a screen father who taught the world that sometimes family love is best expressed through the most outrageous jokes. Number 2, Tisha Campbell-Martin as Janet J. Kyle. If Michael Kyle is the storm of chaos, then Janet J. Kyle is the solid anchor that keeps the family from falling apart, and Tisha Campbell-Martin brought that character to life at age 33 in 2001. Jay is not just a wife, she is the strategic brain behind every decision, the only one capable of handling Michael's crazy antics. From fiery arguments in the kitchen to vulnerable moments as a mother of 3 children with completely different personalities, Jay always maintains a balance between strength and emotion. Especially her journey in the show, from a wife tolerating her husband's impulsiveness to a woman who dares to stand up for her own views, made the character relatable and memorable. Episodes revolving around Jay and Michael's marital conflicts were often emotional peaks, where laughter gave way to understanding. In real life, Tisha's life has also been turbulent. She went through a highly publicized divorce with Dwayne Martin after nearly 20 years of marriage, accompanied by financial disputes and bankruptcy that drew media attention. Even so, she stood strong and continued her acting and music career. Now at 58, Tisha Campbell is not just once America's favorite wife, but also a living testament to the strength of a woman who rises after every breakdown. Just like Jay Kyle, always keeping her family from collapsing. Number 3, Gore II as Michael Kyle Jr. In the world of My Wife and Kids, if there is one character who can ruin every perfect plan in seconds, it is Michael Kyle Jr. And Gore II turned naivety into his trademark at just 19 years old in 2001. Jr. is not the sharp, intelligent type. He represents lovable foolishness, where every illogical statement becomes a perfect punchline. But behind that slow exterior lies a surprisingly meaningful coming-of-age journey from a carefree young man. Junior gradually steps into adulthood when he falls in love with Vanessa, then unexpectedly becomes a father at a very young age. Situations like Junior trying to become the family provider but constantly failing in humorous ways created moments that were both funny and touching. This character proves that growing up does not always happen perfectly. After the show, Gore II did not achieve many standout roles as expected, partially stepping away from Hollywood and shifting toward directing. His life remains relatively private without major scandals, but that also caused his name to gradually fade in the entertainment industry. Now at 44, George carries the legacy of a character who once made an entire generation laugh uncontrollably. Junior, the imperfect young man, yet so real that everyone sees themselves in him. Number 4, Jennifer Freeman as Claire Kyle. Not everyone steps into a role and instantly takes over the spotlight like Jennifer Freeman did with Claire Kyle starting from season 2. In 2002, when she officially replaced the original Claire, she was only 17, young, sharp, and bringing a completely different energy, rebellious, bold, and challenging. Under Jennifer's portrayal, Claire was no longer the typical daughter, but became a teenage nightmare for Michael Kyle, from sneaking around to date, talking back to her parents, to intense confrontations with her father over personal freedom. Every time Claire appeared, the Kyle family fell into chaos, but that also created some of the most memorable episodes, where Michael was forced to learn how to parent a growing teenage girl. Claire's character developed from a stubborn girl into someone more responsible, especially when facing relationships and social pressure, but in real life. Jennifer Freeman also experienced many ups and downs. She married NBA player Earl Watson in 2009, had a child, then divorced just a few years later, reunited, and separated again, making her personal life quite complicated. In addition, she publicly faced health issues and psychological pressure within the entertainment industry. After My Wife and Kids, her career did not explode as expected, appearing only sporadically in smaller projects. Currently, at 39, Jennifer Freeman is still remembered as the legendary Claire Kyle, a girl who once made all of America both frustrated and unable to stop loving her. Number 5, Jazz Raycole as Claire Kyle. Before Jennifer Freeman became the familiar Claire Kyle, there was another version, short-lived but still special, portrayed by Jazz Raycole. In 2001, when My Wife and Kids first aired, Jazz was only 13, bringing a Claire who was more innocent, gentle, and less rebellious compared to the later version. In the first season, Jazz's Claire was the typical high school daughter, slightly stubborn but still retaining her innocence, not yet truly becoming Michael Kyle's opponent. The situations around her were more lighthearted family moments rather than intense conflicts. However, a sudden change occurred when Jazz left the series after just one season, reportedly, because her mother did not want her to participate in an episode involving sensitive content about teen pregnancy. This decision led her career in a different direction, and although she continued acting in some projects, she never reached the same level of fame as during the sitcom. Unlike many child stars, Jazz avoided major scandals such as substance abuse or legal trouble, but that very safety caused her to gradually fade from the spotlight. The recasting of Claire became one of the most controversial changes of the show, as audiences had to adapt to a completely new personality. Now, Jazz Raycole is 37, and although no longer at the peak of fame, she remains an irreplaceable part of memory, the original Claire Kyle, who laid the foundation for one of the most memorable teenage characters of early 2000 sitcoms. Number 6, Parker McKenna Posey as Kady Kyle. If the Kyle family is a battlefield of laughter, then Kady Kyle is the most dangerous little warrior, and Parker McKenna Posey proved that at just 6 years old in 2001. Kady is not as innocent as she looks. She is clever, sharp, and often leaves adults speechless with lines far beyond her age. From witty exchanges with her father to observing and exposing every secret in the family, Kady became an unexpected factor behind many of the show's funniest moments. Over time, her character evolved from an adorable child into a confident teenager who understands her own worth and is not afraid to express her opinions. Especially, her relationship with Franklin, a child prodigy, created both sweet and humorous situations, as two intelligent kids faced off in surprisingly grown-up ways. But away from the sitcom spotlight, Parker's life has not been simple. She has been involved in social media controversies, including sharing bold personal images and content as she grew older, surprising many due to the drastic change from her once America's sweetheart image. While she has not faced serious legal scandals, the pressure of growing up in the spotlight clearly affected her public image. Now at 30, Parker McKenna Posey may no longer hold that innocent image, but she will always be Kady Kyle, the little girl who once made the world laugh, with just a single line. Number 7, Noah Gray-Cabey as Franklin Aloysius Mumford. Not loud, not chaotic, yet every time he appeared, Franklin made the entire room freeze. That was how Noah Gray-Cabey entered My Wife and Kids in 2002 at just 7 years old. A true prodigy, both on screen and in real life. Franklin was written as a genius brain completely opposite to Junior's foolishness. In every scene, he spoke like an adult, handled situations with logic to the point of absurdity, and that created a very unique type of humor. His relationship with Kady was not only adorable, but also a stage for rare high-intelligence exchanges rarely seen in family sitcoms. Franklin did not have many dramatic story arcs, but every appearance elevated the show's rhythm from explaining complex science to leaving Michael Kyle speechless for not keeping up in real life. Noah Gray-Cabey is also a real piano prodigy, performing internationally from a very young age, but unlike many child stars, he avoided scandals, no substance abuse, no legal issues, no romantic drama. Ironically, this clean image made his adult journey less noticed in mainstream media. After My Wife and Kids, he appeared in series like Heroes, but never reached the same sitcom peak again. Now at 30, Noah continues both artistic and academic pursuits, representing a rare example of a child star not destroyed by fame. Franklin, the genius boy from years ago, still holds on to what matters most: balance between talent and life. Number 8. Brooklyn Sudano as Vanessa Scott Kyle. She was not part of the show from the beginning, but she was the one who completely changed Junior's life. Vanessa Scott, portrayed by Brooklyn Sudano, entered the series in 2002 at age 21, bringing a more mature and realistic energy compared to the rest of the Kyle family. Vanessa was not comedic in a laugh-out-loud way. Instead, she served as the catalyst for major turning points: an unplanned pregnancy, early marriage, and forcing Junior to grow up in panic. Episodes centered around Vanessa often carried heavier tones, less laughter, more pressure as she faced the responsibility of motherhood at a very young age while dealing with control from her father and doubt from Michael Kyle. The clash between the two families created some of the most memorable high points of the series. In real life, Brooklyn Sudano is the daughter of legendary singer Donna Summer, but her life was not entirely glamorous. Her mother passed away in 2012 after battling cancer, leaving a deep shock. While she has not been involved in serious scandals like substance abuse or legal trouble, she has faced the pressure of fame and the heavy shadow of her family legacy. Her career developed steadily but never exploded. Now at 44, Brooklyn Sudano is still remembered as Vanessa, the woman who pulled Junior out of childhood and pushed him into the harsh reality of family life. Number 9. Andrew McFarlane as Tony Jeffers. Not the center, not the main character, but Tony Jeffers was an essential piece in Junior's chaotic world, and Andrew McFarlane delivered a truly troublemaking best friend at age 15 in 2001. Tony is the type of friend who always shows up exactly when problems begin. From teaming up with Junior in foolish schemes to making every situation worse, Tony represents careless youth full of energy. Scenes involving Tony often had a fast, chaotic pace and strong teen impulsiveness, contrasting sharply with Michael's strict parenting style. Although he did not have deep character development like the main cast, Tony served as the catalyst that ensured Junior never grew up easily. In real life, Andrew McFarlane did not achieve a breakthrough career after the sitcom, and his personal life remains quite private. No major scandals, no shocking controversies, but also no significant rise to fame. Notably, he shifted toward education and social work, stepping away from Hollywood for a long time. This disappearance surprised many viewers, as a familiar face chose not to pursue fame further. Now at 39, Andrew McFarlane may no longer be a prominent name in entertainment, but he remains Tony, the kind of best friend everyone has had at some point: fun, carefree, and sometimes the source of every problem, of every... Number 10, Lester Speight as Calvin Scott. Some characters do not need much screen time, but every appearance is enough to dominate the entire frame. Calvin Scott is exactly that kind of presence. Lester Speight joined My Wife and Kids in 2003 at age 40 with a massive physique and overwhelming aura, turning Calvin into a true nightmare for Junior. As Vanessa's father, Calvin is not only strict but extremely protective, often intimidating Junior with looks and a voice that could make anyone tremble. But behind that tough exterior lies a character filled with meme-worthy humor, over-the-top reactions, and exaggerated lines that made Calvin one of the most beloved supporting characters. In the show, He represents the traditional father figure, completely contrasting Michael Kyle, leading to intense yet hilarious confrontations. In real life, Lester Speight was a professional football player and wrestler before becoming an actor. But life was not entirely smooth. He faced financial struggles and had to fight to maintain his career after leaving the sitcom. While he avoided serious scandals like legal issues or substance abuse, his journey has been a continuous effort to survive in the harsh entertainment industry. Now at 63, Lester Speight still carries a powerful presence. Calvin Scott, the most intimidating sitcom dad, yet also one of the funniest characters audiences have ever loved. When the sitcom lights fade, those people continue living their own lives. Some shine brightly, others quietly. But in the audience's memory, the Kyle family will always remain laughing, arguing, and loving.